Hello everyone, welcome to another video on this channel. Today, as you might have read in the title, I'm gonna show you how to get faster on the water just by tuning your sail. In the last video or in the previous video, I showed you how to tune your board. If you haven't seen that yet, make sure to check it out. I'll put the link in the description. And with those two videos together, I think you can gain a lot of control and speed on the water. So make sure you watch the whole video. In another video coming out soon, I'm gonna talk about fins. Once that is out, I'm gonna put it in the description as well. I'm gonna explain different fin brands and tell you what sizes you will need. So yeah, with all those videos together, you should be ready to go. If you don't want to miss that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you put the little notification bell on. And if you find this video helpful, also make sure to leave a like. I'd be really happy. Any suggestions? And let's get into this. So yeah, there's a few things you can do about your sail. It doesn't matter on the sail brand. You can do it with any sail brand and with any free race, free ride, race, slalom sail. And as I explained in the video with the boards, it's all about finding a symbiosis between control and top speed. So there's a few things you can do. First off, I want you to start off by rigging your sail the way you normally do it. And I want you to keep in mind that this is something you have to find out kind of for yourself. I'm going to tell you what you can do, but you need to go on the water and test it out and see what works perfect for your sail brand, for your personal style of windsurfing. And yeah, I just want to explain you how you can go about. And the first thing you can do really is play with a downhaul. I think this is the most obvious thing, and I'm going to explain you what you can do. So as you can see in the sail, the loose leech now goes to the max point of my sail. So we have a lot of loose leech, and what that does is it takes away the backhand pressure of the sail, and it will make your board fly a lot. And if you feel like your board flies too much and you have problems controlling it and keeping it down, one of the things I would suggest is to put a little less downhaul. On the other hand, if you feel like you point a lot upwind and your sail pushes the board down, I would suggest you to put a little bit more downhaul. So here it's really about finding the right point. And this is kind of funny because most people suggest you to put a lot more downhaul in strong winds, but if you put too much downhaul because it's very windy, you're actually going to lose a lot of control because the sail becomes very unstable and you don't have a constant pressure point. So make sure that when you go out in strong wind, you don't over downhaul the sail, because this does actually the exact opposite from what you want to achieve. So when you're on the beach and you rigged your sail, just go from more or less the max and minimum points from the sail. Most of the brands have a max and minimum point, which gives you a good indication. If you don't have those points, you will probably just have to watch the rigging video that your sail brand offers. And from that point, you can just give it a little more or a little less. And then you should just go out on the water and try different settings. So when you play with the downhaul, make sure you play only in a very small range. So we're talking about the pulley of the sail going up and down by a few centi or even millimeters. So I personally vary in a range of plus minus 1 centimeter, not more than that. And that's already a lot. Another thing that's fairly underestimated when trimming your sail is the tack strap. And what the tack strap does is it gives your sail shape in the bottom. So if the wind is really light, I suggest you to pull the tack strap really hard. You can even go with the foot and pull it super tight, and you will see that your sail will get a lot of shape in the bottom, giving you a deeper profile and more power in the sail. And on the opposite, when it's very choppy, I suggest you to loosen that up so the sail can work a bit and has less of a belly in the bottom, which will give you more control in difficult conditions. But especially in flat water spots and light wind days, I suggest you to tighten that tack strap a lot. So the next thing you can do is you can play with the outhole. Most of the sail brands offer 2 outhole clues. We have the upper and the lower one. Some of the brands even offer 3 different clues. And typically when it's windier and you want to gain more control, you'll put it in the lower clue, as this will release tension from the sail. And in lighter days, and especially again if the control doesn't matter so much, in for example flat spots, you can put it in the upper clue, which will give you a lot more backhand pressure and a lot more power in the sail. Same goes for the outhole tension. So if you keep it loose, you're obviously going to have a big belly in the sail, a deep shape, and the sail is going to touch the boom, which is actually not a problem. It's not the best if the boom scratches the sail, so you can maybe put some transparent stickers, which is what I do. The sail can touch the boom. That doesn't mean it's too loose. I see a lot of people that pull way too much and the sail is far away from the boom. That means you're basically making your sail dead and you lose a lot of control and you lose the pressure point. So personally, even when I put a lot of tension, the sail always, at least when the gust hits the sail always touches a little bit the boom. So yeah, when it's really windy, put a little bit more outhole tension, and when it's light, you can make it really loose. One other thing you can do is you can adjust the boom height. And what that does is it trims your board again and it changes a bit your body position. So typically in light wind, you want the board to fly a little bit more, to have the nose a little bit higher. So you're gonna put the boom a little bit higher. And if you feel like the board flies a lot, the nose flies a lot, and you wanna gain some more control, you can put the boom quite low. Again, don't forget, all of the adjustments have to be a symbiosis, so try out different things. Generally, a good size for the boom is about chest high. And the last thing you can do is you can change the length of the harness lines. Mine are usually between 28 inches and 34 inches. I have relatively long arms, so for most of you guys, I think 28, especially for girls. I know my wife, she doesn't use longer than 28 inches. So for most of you guys, I think it would be somewhere between 24 and 30 inches. So typically for difficult conditions, choppy conditions, strong wind conditions, I put them quite long. That allows me to bring my body further out and just give me a little bit more leverage to hold the sail. And in really light conditions, I put the harness line all the way short because that makes my body a little bit more upright and is just in light wind a little bit easier because my arms are closer to the boom compared to longer, which makes it really exhausting in light wind. And you can just adjust it anywhere between that. Also make sure you adjust your harness lines in the right position. It doesn't really matter how far they are apart. I've seen different things. I've seen people that had them all the way together, and I've seen people that had them all the way apart, and I think it doesn't really matter. I've even seen professionals that had them really far apart. So just make sure the position of the harness lines is right, and that's quite easy to determine. You just go to the beach and you hold the sail just from the harness line, and you will feel if the sail moves to one side or the other. You just change a little bit, see if it's evened out, and ideally, you want the pressure on the sail from here to be super even. And that actually makes a really big difference on the water. When it's really difficult condition-wise, I tend to put the harness lines a little bit further to the front. And I feel like that gives me a little bit more control in difficult conditions. Yes, it does give you a little bit more backhand pressure, but in the end, I feel like you can sail the sail a little bit further open, which allows you to have less pressure in the sail overall. It's not the fastest, but sometimes, it just depends on how much control you have on the water. So yeah, these are my suggestions for how you can be faster. Again, you can apply this to all free ride, free race, slalom, race sails. Most of the advice I gave you don't really matter for move sails, wave sails, or freestyle sails. So this is really for free ride racing, free racing. And yeah, I hope it helped you. If it helped you, make sure you give this video a like. And if you don't want to miss the video that I'm gonna make about fins, you should definitely subscribe right now. Make the notification bell on so you don't miss the video. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I see you in the next one. Peace.